just record this video, but obviously, ultimately, you've done what you normally do when you start and you have not turned the mics on. So I was muted for the whole video, so let's do it again. Today, I want to be I was thinking about the week and I was like, what have I been sort of struggling with the last few months since I've been home, and it'll be how I'm sort of falling in and out of the social bubbles of my friend groups since I've been home. I sort of broke down sort of how many groups I sort of dropped myself into, and it sort of came out at 9. So obviously it breaks down my uni mates, my home friends, my travel friends, my family, how people are individually, and then how I sort of behave on my own. Out of these 9 social groups, I broke it down that I would authentically be able to be myself in only 5 out of the 9. So you've got to think, why is this? Why in 4 groups of people do I not feel comfortable in being sort of the authentic me? And obviously there's a lot of people that know the authentic me, like everyone on holiday. What have I got to hide from them in terms of my personality? I'm sort of, you get what you get with me. Then you've got my uni mates. It was sort of a new dawn to me. Uni. I didn't really want to go initially, but I think it was life changing in terms of the social impact that it was going to have on my life, and it did. I've made friends for life, and I would say I'm in stronger contact with people from uni than I am back home. Before the other week when I went back to my uni town, I would have said I love it there, but then I went back the other day, and because the social aspect is sort of not as strong, with everyone I had before was there the whole time. Everyone was there. Now you go back and you're just sort of on your own. You're a few people. It doesn't hit the same. However, the actual bonds you make with the individuals is ultimately what you need to cherish the memory, and that's what I've done. In the 5 circles where I sort of find it hard to be myself, it's down a lot to the appeasement that you sort of have to do to make sure that there's no issues within these circles. I mostly appease my groups of friends or certain people to just make sure that there's no arguments, no problems, wasting time, especially on decision makings. Sometimes you have to be agreeable so that stuff gets done. Or ultimately, how I feel recently, some things go where things don't get decided, and then I'm sort of the one that has to pick up the pieces. In terms of booking certain things, I want to do stuff, I want to go places, I don't really want to wait around, so I'm more than happy to book the things so that it gets done, because ultimately you've got to be selfish in these things and say, do you know what, I'm tired of waiting around. I want to do it for me as well as in the group, so you can just book it yourself. And if people aren't responding or making an effort, then it's ultimately not down to you, because you were on it from day dot to get the thing sorted. I think that ultimately relies heavily on a holiday, a group holiday. You just have to go majority now. So even in a group of say 7, you can have fun with 4, you can have fun with 3, you can have fun with 2, and you can have fun with 1. If people are taking their whole life to give you the response and effort you need, then it's not worth it in terms of when you're on the trip, it's going to be the same. So you just got to get it done and just make sure that you're the one making the effort, because that's how stuff will get done in your own life. If you don't make effort on yourself, nothing's going to get done. You obviously appease these groups, and then you're yourself in the other groups, and then obviously one of the main groups is you're on your own. That's a social group. You're in your own head talking, and stuff's always ticking on in there. With this right now, stuff just comes out, spills out, and you've always got something to think about, something to talk about. And then when you sort of speak it into existence, some things can change in people, some things change in yourself, how you behave changes as well. So being your own, like there's so many benefits to just like sort of like having a detox from like so many people. Obviously, like it's definitely healthy to have communication ties with so many people, but it's also so healthy to be on your own and just like go like, what happened if I was on my own? Like, how would I cope? And then I think I would cope all right. When you're in these appeasement circles, there's a heavy fear on sort of saying the wrong thing. You don't when you don't feel like heavily like yourself, you don't want to say something that's gonna infuriate the group. A lot of time you could potentially get peer pressured, and sometimes the finances just can't let you get peer pressured because then you struggle. You think you're having a good time in the moment, you get home, you check your bank, and you go, "That was a mistake." And I'm not saying you need to worry about these mistakes, I'd say, but like you have to think about like, can I keep wasting my money when it's not as enjoyable? In terms of like a family context, you don't potentially want to be, you don't want to let them down, I say. So you sort of appease to make sure there's no problems, especially like in gatherings. With like a lot of my holiday friends, I've obviously got all their social medias. I like their stuff. I see their photos. I see that they're still living their life, as am I. But you fall out of contact, and like that. This is just, you go from seeing them in a big block of days, becoming their best mate. Next day they got another best mate, and you just go back to reality. And then, but the thing is, if you make the effort in like dropping them a message every now and then, saying like, "Oh my god, how'd your trip? Like, how you been?" And if they're local, like, "Do you want to go out?" And you make an effort to like make a conversation, then it would ultimately work out as a strong friendship. Um, there's quite a lot of focus on like a heavy solo mission. You sort of, if you don't focus on being solo, often you sort of don't make a change. You don't identify your own problems, and you don't make a change. Um, in terms of my own like ideal social situation, I don't want any issues. I don't want to be going out with my mates in a group and having problems. Like, I'm there to have a laugh, have fun, have it light-hearted. You don't really want any competition between each other. You just want to just have a relaxing pint. I'm sober at the moment, so coke. And yeah, like you don't really want to be like challenging off each other, like going off achievements. You sort of just want to have your own path and do something different to what they're doing, and then you've got a story to come back to, and you're like, do you know what? We both live quite interesting lives here, and like it's just like so relaxed, and you shouldn't worry about your mates. I would like people to sort of be punctual around me. Sometimes I feel I'm questioned on like what I wear. I'd say my fashion is like moving ahead of like others that sort of stick to the sort of corporate look, and then like for me, I'm like, I want to be myself here, so I'm not a big fan of being questioned on what I'm wearing, or being pressured into seeing certain things, or being pressured into wearing certain clothing when I'm not comfortable. Ultimately you want to be comfortable around your friends and groups. You need a balance between like a laugh and respect to an extent. And for me, I think the one thing what I need with social is like I can't do repetition. I can't do the same thing. I can't go to the same pub. I can't go to the same booth. I can't go to the same table. I can't get the same drink. And I can't be asked the same questions. That's one of my top things. I can't be asked the same questions. It's one of them things where it just infuriates me when people hone on the same thing, saying, when you're doing this, when you're doing that. And it's like, I'm figuring it out, as are you. We're all figuring something out. And it's one thing, it just frustrates me when people persist on asking the same questions. So in terms of that repetition, I want change. I want people to be more spontaneous, show a bit of spontaneity. I want people to be punctual, and I want people to show an effort that they want to be in that group situation. Sometimes you see it where it's like people go, does anyone want to go out tonight? And then it's like a 50-50 divide on whether they want to actually go out or like they're just going out because others are. And it's like, are you making an effort for me, or are you just like sort of like following the pack? And it's what happens quite often. Top hotspots, I would say, for like making this ideal social. You also got your pub. It's the best one. You can open up if you do have a drink, and that's great. When you go to the football, that'll be heavy with my family, where we're watching the same team, we've followed the same journey, we've been the same journey for 20 years, and you want the same thing, you want the same end goal, you want the success, you want to win. A nice one would be a walk with your friends. I go on my 10,000 steps every day now. I've done 5,000. I've got another 5,000 home today. But yeah, it sort of just clears your head. And I would like people to join me on these walks, but obviously people who are on their own time crunch, and as am I. So I sort of just get up and get on with it, and then this is what happens. The gym, got into that recently. It's good to know that people I know are in there with me sometimes in my sessions. We push each other, we have a spotter for each other, and ultimately you grow stronger because your friend pushes you to achieve more. And that is the best thing about having a gym partner. And I always train better when I've got someone with me. And then I think the best one would be like, as I'm saying, where like you want to book this holiday, but you need everyone to sort of get in there. When everyone is in there and you're on that holiday, that's the best social. You're abroad, your worries of your job and your like home problems are sort of out of the way for that week, that 2 weeks. I mean, for me, when I went away this summer, then 2 months, you're sort of dialed into just having a bit of fun and not worrying, and people just sort of relax a bit on their holiday, like as they should. And yeah, people they're more relaxed, they have more fun, and it just makes the social just so much more enjoyable for everyone when there's not people that are just like ruining it, to say the least. But yeah, since COVID, so 5 years, like these different social bubbles I've been in, you obviously got my home friends for the 2 years, but then even then I was in college, out away from them, so it was like I was on my own in that bracket. And then I went to uni, I didn't know anybody. 3 years, you get 3 different groups because you keep moving houses. So you get your first house in your new flat. They're your mates for life, your first year ones. It's the best year. Second year, new house, half and half. You get some people that drop out and stay, some people that come in and you become good friends with them. And then final year, this year, like last year that I just finished, I had to go into a completely new house with new people. And it was great because ultimately I do just want to meet as many people as possible and just make friendships with them, because you learn more from more people. And then obviously come home, and then you sort of have to rebuild your home relationships, because obviously while you've been away for 3 years, they've been growing their group without you present 80% of the time. And then obviously your family stays the same. Your family don't change, your family still love you, your family always respect you. But it's just about making sure you're not letting them down, and just like staying consistent with what you do and just causing no problems. So that's ultimately what I'm trying to focus on now. Like, I'm back home, I'm trying to not even rebuild to an extent. I'm sort of just trying to just have a bit more fun and sort of like ease my way back into the group. Like obviously I don't know everything, I've not been here, so you don't want to sort of like try and make yourself the centre talking point, the centre, the problem. Like you don't want to come in and ruin what they've been building. You just sort of want to like ease yourself in. You, like I said, one of the fears of appeasement, you are trying to fit in, but sometimes in a situation like this where you don't want to appease, but you do just want to fit in, that's valid as well. So yeah, this year I'm really going to try and focus on all my relationships with people, making sure that I stay in contact with my travelling friends, my uni friends, my home friends when they're working or at university, and all my friends that have finished uni and they're living their own corporate life, and then hopefully we just sort of grow as a group, and I sort of integrate myself further into it, and then we just have a laugh really, because that's what it's all about.